Do you remember Winnie the Pooh? How's about Piglet? What about Eeyore, the emo donkey? Well, it's free game since the copyright has ran out, so why not take a man's life work and turn it into a fantastic thriller killer, so special it gave me full-blown AIDS. Film begin, and we're getting the backstory to this utter blockbuster. It turns out that Christopher was one day walking through the forest and came across a bunch of talking animals, like a rabbit, an emo donkey, little Piglet, and Winnie the Pooh. But strangely, Christopher wasn't totally freaked out about a bunch of talking animals, so he brought them some food and became great friends. Until one day, he went to college to become a TikTok dancing doctor, leaving them all alone in the woods. So what happened to those little critters? Did they carry on as they had been before Christopher even arrived? What about creating their own little Hobbiton? How's about lining up a big fat juice? No, you silly goose! They went utterly mental, of course, because they started starving to absolute death, even though they weren't starving before they even met Christopher. So they ate emo Eeyore and swore a pact that they will kill all the humans. Quick flip. And here's Christopher all biglier now, and he's taking his girlfriend into the woods because he wants to show her the Pooh Bear. Although she doesn't really believe him, but is still cool about it, saying like, look, they're all in your head, they're all imaginary, you silly goose. But you've got like 300 followers on TikTok from that dance you did when the hospitals were allegedly overrun. So you're like really famous. And famous people, they don't lie. But it's getting a little late now, and they need to get a real move on, which they do. But wait a goddamn minute, Christopher just heard something in the woods, and then he goes follows the sound, and look, oh my god, it's that place where he used to hang out with Pooh Bear as a kid. But something is really confusing him, because that place has changed bigly time. And like, yeah, it has been like 15 years, you nugget. And Christopher says, we've got to find out what happened to my little Pooh Bear. But don't worry, I'll protect you, female person. Which is, quite a weird thing to say. So they get up in that house, which is like really well constructed. And like, how did Pooh Bear and his little mates build that? I mean, they haven't even got opposable thumbs. It doesn't matter, because noises are now happening on the outside. So they go, oh, it's very scary. And then go hide up behind some bookcases or whatever. And then someone just walked in and gets on the bed. And now it's nighttime, so it's time to escape while that monster man sleeps, which they do, and now they're hearing even more alien noises. So quick, hide! Wait, oh my god, it's Man Bear Pig, and he's choking out his girlfriend while Christopher just watches, which he's really upset about, and now she's dead. And then Man Bear Pig just runs away. Christopher is shit scared, almost like chutting out of his pants. But what the hell? Here's Pooh Bear, who somehow is now 6'2" and looks suspiciously like a man wearing a mask. And Christopher is like, oh, Pooh Bear, you've got to help me, you old skid mark. Man Bear Pig just totally 1v1 me wife. And now she's dead. And Pooh Bear isn't saying anything. And oh my sweet balls. Like, Pooh Bear was working with Man Bear Pig this entire time. And Christopher is like, no, please don't kill me. I have 300 followers on social media. They'll know if I've gone missing. Scene transmission, and here's birthing person, who's having a counselling session because she's got the anxiety. So counselling lady says, like, why not just like, take a weekend off. Just go somewhere, maybe a forest or something. Just relax, you silly goose. So she's now off into the woodland adventures. And also she's driving a stupid Fiat 500. I hate those cars. And then stops for some fuel at a crapped out petrol station. But no one is around. So she goes in because she really needs an assistant. There he is saying, those petrol pumps outside, they don't work, you dingus. Have you seen how old they are? You need to go up to BP garage. They've got like loads of fuel there. Even if half of it did spill out in the Gulf of Mexico. And for some reason, that guy has an horrendous American accent. Well, it turns out that her little retreat to the woodlands included a bunch of other women, which is kind of cool, I guess. But there is one rule though, they all need to hand in their phones so they can enjoy their weekend away from social media. It's like, Good idea. Well done, lads. Flippity floppity. And here's a Ginger who's driving to meet them at the lodge. But oh my god, there's a freaking bear now chasing her. So quick, you utter Ginger. Run! Run away from that bear, who's obviously a man wearing a mask that probably came from China. So she gets into a barn and is like totally hiding, saying, "Oh, I'm like totally hidden. I won't die." Wait, yes I am, because there's Pooh Bear, who then grabs her, and somehow her titties are now out all flapping all over the place. And then she gets chucked into a wood chipper. Let's head the birthing person, who's having a chat with her friends, and she's telling them why she has anxiety. Apparently, someone was once stalking her. So it's flashback time, where she heard something in her house once. And oh my god, someone was outside. Really interesting. So let's head to what happened a few weeks later, when she was asleep in her bed, all alone. And Creepy Man had managed to enter her house, and there he is. Oh, very scary. Backstory over. So let's go check out Man Bear Pig, who's riding a bicycle that he's made into a generator to power a whole load of lights. And here's Pooh Bear, who was Christopher chained up, saying, "My sweet, sweet shit bear. I love you, bro. Why you do this to me? We were friends." Oh my god, it's so sad. So it's flashback time again, where Christopher is telling Pooh Bear, "You're so cool. I'll always be with you, my friend." Pointless. Flashback over, and Pooh Bear, his eyes are raining because he's remembering all those great fun times. But that makes him really angry. So he smashes up that place. He's like, "Oh, I'm so mad." And then starts whipping Christopher with like hair. Oh, and then puts his wife's skeleton next to him and then marinates him in her blood. So Pooh Bear is like, "Oh no, I've done an oh bother. If the old Rosa come and knocking, I'll be nicked, mate." So then he heads out to hide the body. But he's just heard something. It's Hot Tub Lady, who's taking pics for her OnlyFans. And now she's taken them all, she gets to reviewing them. But what the utter shit is that? It's a freaking Pooh Bear. And she's like, "Hello? Who's watching me? Oh, I'll find you." Well, she gave up on that one pretty quickly. It's now back in the hot tub. But oh no, Hot Tub Lady, there's Man Bear Pig and Pooh Bear right behind you. So they knock that bitch out and then get to kidnapping her. Time passing, and she wakes up all tied up. And Pooh Bear is in a car because he somehow understands how to operate a clutch and a gear stick. While Man Bear Pig is like totally standing there with a sledgehammer. So he drives forward, and now she's dead with an eyeball hanging out and everything. It's like, oh, amazing. Let's head to the other girls who just heard all those screams. And they're like proper freaked out about it, saying, "Let's go investigate." And holy shitballs, there's a dead body. So they run inside and someone has written on the window, "Get out." Which is actually very nice of them because like they're only trying to do them a favour by giving them advice. So what do? Do they run? Do they call the policeman? Or do they go down to the Winchester and wait for this whole thing to blow over? Of course not, you dingus. They're gonna go gang up and get weapons. But holy shit, there's Pooh Bear, who's looking a bit evil right now. And he even knows basic electrics because he just switched the breaker switch and now they're in darkness. Even though like in literally the next scene it has like the fairy lights on. So not very broken at all. They all team up with their weapons, which is like one hammer. And Hammer Lady says, "I'm gonna go check the doors and make sure they're all closed and locked." While Birthing Person says, "I've got a gun upstairs, we can go get that." She whips out her frothing handgun, which is illegal and legit, unless she's like specially licensed in like law enforcement, that is actually illegal. You know, in the UK, our right to bear arms is literally bear arms. And then sees the Pooh Bear inside the house, which is like the absolute perfect assassination spot right there. So she goes hides instead. It's like, very, very smart. What is Hammer Time doing? She's going to lock the doors, but they just heard something. I mean, every time they just hear something, and they're like proper spooked about it, and fuck my ass, it's Man Bear Pig with a sledgehammer. And one of them falls over, while the other one falls into the pool. She's like, "No, don't touch that passed out woman." And he actually agrees because he took his consent classes and then gets into the pool with the lady while swinging the sledgehammer. And now she's dead. But the other lady has just woken up and is like, No! You needed a consent form to do that murder! Flip the birthing person who's trying to escape, even though she literally could have shot Pooh Bear. And they run into the pool room where there's a dead lady. And instead of like being very, very quiet and like getting out that place, they just start screaming nice and loudly. And if you look to the window, there's Pooh Bear and Man Bear Pig. And they have the other woman, you know, the one who fell over and knocked herself out. But hold on, they have phones just sitting in a basket that they put there earlier. They can like easily go get them and call the police. So what are they going to do with that woman they just kidnapped? Tie her up, obviously, while Pooh Bear rubs beaches in his face. And now he's ready to do that murder. So how does he do it? Is it by chainsaw? What about an ice pick? No, you silly goose. He just starts slapping her in the face for some kind of reason. Time passing and birthing person arrives without being seen somehow. And it turns out he only slapped her to sleep. So they untie her and get escaping. But watch out, persons with uteruses. They like just heard a big scream in the background. Again with these screams. And birthing person says, if there's anyone else trapped here, we can't leave them. We need to go save them. Even though they could like literally just leave, get the police, and get them to do the hut. Oh wait, sorry, actually no. In the UK, our police officers are too busy doing TikTok. What a time to be alive. So they go creeping into one of the sheds. Oh my god, it's Christopher Robin, who's looking pretty bad right now. And he asks them, can you untie me? Got a little bit of an itch on my nose and I just can't bloody reach it, you know. So they do. And then hear another scream for help. And oh my sweet baby Jesus, it's a random person who menstruates, who was captured off camera. And she's like, please help me. I never gave them consent to do the murder. So they untie her and start getting the utter hell out of there. But random woman just saw her reflection in the mirror and is like, what have they done to my face? I was the hottest MILF in the local area, but now I look like a monster. So she grabs birthing person's gun and shouts for Man Bear Pig to come 1v1 her. And there he is. So it's big standoff time where she's proper angry and starts shooting. But oh no, she's out of bullets. There was no bullets in the gun. Oh my god. And here's Pooh Bear, who no one realised was approaching, even though like that would have been in full view of everything. He then starts pouring honey on her and then they gobble her all up. And the girls are like, oh, they're eating her. And then they'll eat us. Oh my god. So you better get running again. But not birthing person though. She's now a hard nut hitting Man Bear Pig with a freaking sledgehammer. And somehow she's now made a noose and also has Man Bear Pig all chained up. And she's saying, I'm going to do you a murder without consent. And now he's dead. Maybe? Who really knows a trash like this? But stop right there! The fight isn't over because Winnie the Shit Bear just heard everything and is now killing her. Back to the other people who menstruate. And they're running bigly time. And here's a car out of literally nowhere. So they're like, oh, please help us. Those guys are killing us illegally. And would you look at that? It's the fake American from earlier. But they don't actually believe them going, oh, you're making all up, it's all in your head. Whoa, my god, look, there's a freaking bear. And Cowboy Man, who's somehow Australian, says, oh, that ain't no human. So they're all going to go do a murder on Shit Bear. And it's really, really intense because they're edging their way closer and closely saying, oh, don't you be mean to women. So it's big fight time where Pooh Bear takes like a good old beating off time with like baseball bats, sledgehammers, crowbars, and a glass bottle. But he's still standing and is now like 9 feet tall somehow and pulls out an Uno no you murder by literally splattering that guy's brains, then slashing some throats and setting the bees on that guy. He's like, oh god, not the bees! Oh, not the bees! Oh! What's the persons who menstruate doing now? They found the keys to the car and are totally escaping. But stop right there! The Pooh Bear just did a Terminator 2 and is clinging onto the rear and is now on the truck. So no, how will they escape this one? By hitting the brakes of course and it goes flying off. And somehow doing that emergency stop caused them to knock themselves out. And Shit Bear He survived, so he's now killing the other woman by removing her head with his bare hands. And now he's coming to do a murder on the last survivor, but also very, very slowly. And oh my god, she's trying to turn the engine and the car won't start now. It's like, oh my god, worst possible timing. And now Shit Bear has the girl and she's gonna die. Like, really, really die. Wait, nope, sorry. Christopher Robin comes out of literally nowhere in a car and rams him. Well, that was very convenient. Oh, and also the car's now on fire. But oh, wait! He's not dead! He's invincible! And now he's coming. So they try getting the utter crap out of there, again, very, very slowly. And now the Shit Bear has caught up with them and Christopher is like, no, stop killing all these chest feeders! That's a hate crime! Oh, you used to be really cool, Pooh Bear. I'm sorry for opening a TikTok account and then going off to train as a doctor so I can go dance on it. But does that work though? Nope, he just slits her throat and now she's dying, so he's big sad crying all around. And Christopher, he's like, no, why did you do that? And that's it, film finished. Wait, what? What the hell was the plot? And also, where was like the resolution to the film? Oh my god, I now have super AIDS.
Subscribe button.
Is always right.